Hi, Kayvee. How's it going? Rather,
I'm fine, Ify. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to have you here because I was expecting you last week. I made a little announcement,
I'm sorry about
but you didn't
that.
come. But it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. But glad that you're here, and I'm glad that I get to have this conversation with you as well because we know that you were in this year's BBNaija Shine Your Eye, and your exit was rather shocking. But
Okay.
before we get into that, let's talk about your experience in the house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, for me, let me start with getting into the house.
Okay.
Getting into the house, I came in with a whole lot of energy, positive vibes. It's just what people knows me as. I like to have fun wherever I am. Bring it positive energy, not just energy, just positive energy. So I brought that into the house, but I didn't receive that in return. So it made me just a bit just withdraw myself and just be an observer. That was how I ended up being in the house basically. Yeah, I was
So what
more
do you
like,
mean by you didn't receive that in return?
I mean, like, when you are like now when we're both dancing, while I'm dancing, you're also giving me
Exactly.
yeah. So if I'm only the one dancing now. I'm sure you're going to be bored. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
And just taking a look at your relationship with the people in the house as well, is there anyone that you know or you could say you would have a long term friendship with when this reality TV show is over?
Um, I mean, I was friends with everyone in the house. Like, we had conversation, maybe regardless of how short I spent in the house. I mean, I made sure I had a conversation with almost everybody in the house basically. They would sit down and talk about one thing or the other. I also talk about life experiences and all. Yeah, but Hi and Sasuke, we're gonna be good friends because I mean, she has been talking about me for a long while in the house, and before that, I and I have been having lovely conversation, and she's free-minded as well. She's one of those people who I think like I enjoy their energy and enjoy their vibes, basically.
Yeah, I love that. Now, speaking about being free minded, one other person that is tagged as free minded as well in the house is Angel.
Oh,
And we
okay.
recall that the last Saturday party that you were a part of, you had said you wanted to have a conversation with her, but then she was like she was tired and she wanted to go to bed. So we want to know, what was that conversation supposed to be about?
I mean, I and Angel, we're good friends in the house. We're good friends in the house, but I wanted to talk. I like to talk to her. She's quite intelligent, but people don't know that about her. She's actually very intelligent, but you need to be calm with her. When I kind of like understand the kind of person she is, so that's why her and our energy is like kind of vibe because I'm also a free-minded kind of person. So I mean, we both vibe, but yeah. So I love talking to her basically.
Yeah. And remember during the Truth or Dare where you and Angel kissed, and then later on, it seemed like Sammy was jealous. But then it seemed like you didn't even know because when Perry brought it to your attention, you looked surprised or shocked. Why
Yeah,
were you surprised?
because that night I was sleeping,
Okay.
so I didn't hear because I was deep asleep. I didn't hear all of the arguments and. So next morning when Perry told me they had an argument, I was like, oh wow, did that really happen?
Yeah.
So and I was surprised that, but it's okay to be jealous. But I didn't. He thought I meant like something serious. I didn't come like to break anybody's sheep or whatever
Yeah.
it is. You get it? I was just there catching my vibe, enjoying
Uh-huh.
the game, and basically.
So did you get into the house thinking that you might be a part of a ship?
No, I came into the house just being free. I wanted to like roll with everybody, but um, I could not still predict what's gonna happen in the future. So I was open to in case. You
Yeah,
get
in case
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
happened.
yeah.
All right, so just still in the house. Before you got into Bibi Nadia house, we know that you were in lockdown for about 4 weeks or so.
Yeah.
How did that affect you being in lockdown? What was that experience like for you?
Well, that experience for me was amazing because that was one of the only time I'd spent so much time with just myself.
Oh wow.
So I had to discover a whole lot about myself. I discovered that before now I don't read books. So I discovered I could read books and I wasn't bored of reading the books. I enjoyed the vibe basically because it made me discover so many things about myself. When you spend time with yourself, you have to like make yourself happy regardless
Of
of
course.
yeah. So
All right, that's quite sweet. And then finally getting into the house as well. We did see like you made mention that you were friends with everyone. You had conversation with everyone. But then it got to a point where it seemed like you were acting out of character, so to speak, and this was right before your exit, which was a shock, which was a surprise to a whole lot of people. So take us through your experience leading up to that, where the housemates even noticed that, is Kayvee himself, is he doing okay? Is he good? Before you went to have a conversation with Big Brother, and then we saw that you had left. So just take us through.
Oh, well, at that point when I told you, okay, when I got into the house with the full of energy, and so I didn't receive the energy in return. So I felt like I was being talkative. I was talking too much. That's what I felt like. So I kind of like withdraw myself, trying to be an observer. Just want to learn more from them instead. So by so doing, I mean, they thought I like changed. I came with the energy, and one time I just stopped talking. So I was like kind of observing them. Who are these people? I didn't need to, because it was hard for me blending into the house because at that point. So yeah, and I didn't notice that I was breaking down as well. Yeah, I was breaking down at that point, and I didn't speak up on time. So when I mean with the doctor's advice, so I couldn't continue with the show, which was sad for me and sad for so many people. A lot of people have told me they cried when I left and so, but I'm like, I'm sorry about that. But I mean, I'm here now. I'm okay. I'm fit. I'm happy again. I was dealing with a whole lot of anxiety at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with this anxiety that you ended up finding out that you were dealing with, is this something that you've just experienced for the first time, or is this something that you've experienced before in the past?
No, it was for the first time. Yeah. So that was why I didn't know what it was. So I was just trying to manage it by myself until I broke down finally.
Oh wow. And I'm sure you've definitely gotten the help, because you made mention, with the doctors. And so were you able to identify what these triggers were? Because I know when it comes to some mental health issues, there might be specific triggers that sometimes your therapist is able to identify through, series of sessions. So have you identified what those triggers were that led to the breakdown?
I was hard for me to identify because series of things were happening at that time. Trying to blend into the house, trying to observe people, trying to know these people, and like there's so many people, like living with 20 something people in the house. It's a bit difficult for you to like blend in as a person. Every other person aside from me that came in together as me were like, they were a bit observant, but I was the one that came in with all of energy because I can't really pinpoint that this is what really happened, but I just make sure that it was like a whole lot of things going about, so I can't really say it's this one particular thing.
And you may mention coming into the house with so much energy and all that. Has that been your personality, or was it specifically because it's BBNaija and because people expect a certain, type of character and excitement from you, or is that how you've always been?
Well, every other person that knows me before Big Brother House knows that Kayvee is the man of energy. He brings the vibe wherever he is. Like I mentioned when we started the show, I said wherever I am, I like to make sure we're all happy, enjoying ourselves. So that's the energy I brought in, being myself. I didn't come with a strategy, basically. I came into the house being myself. So, I mean, that was just me. So there was nothing too serious, like not like I was over planning it or something. That was just my vibe, basically. If you know me outside the house, oh yeah, that's him. People that know me outside the house know that's how he does his thing normally.
Yeah.
You get, so nothing too serious.
Nothing too serious. And just looking at some of the things that you said, especially regarding when it got to a point where you felt like you were not receiving that same energy that you were giving out, it sort of made you go into a shell, so to speak, trying to observe. Now that shows that you are someone who is in tune with your emotions, right? And getting into the BBNaija house, did you think that was ever going to work against you? Because you are a creative. We're going to get to that shortly.
Okay.
And I know that one major factor when it comes to us as creatives is that we feel a lot, right? We are in tune with our emotions. So did you think that could have affected your chances getting into the BBNaija house, knowing that it's a game and everyone there is there because they're there to win the game, either gain some form of notability, win prizes, and get an opportunity to put themselves on that platform as well. So did you think that part of you was going to work against you?
Well, I didn't know because I didn't think to that extent, so I didn't really know that was going to affect me and that was going to affect my gameplay. But I mean, it has happened already. I have to like look ahead, basically. I don't want to dwell too much in the past. So, I mean, it was a game,
Yeah.
and apparently now I'm out, but still happy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's good because you've gotten great feedback from your fans
Yeah, and my
who
family.
appreciate it. Exactly.
Yeah.
I want us to delve into your gender
Okay.
and mental health issues in Nigeria, right? Because we know that in recent times, it's only recently that we started becoming very vocal about mental health, and we started accepting that mental health issues are not just an Oyinbo issue. Everyone experiences it one way or the other, right? And thankfully, now that we've accepted that this is the case, now we're open to being more enlightened by it. Now, with you experiencing this, did you feel any form of discomfort knowing that, okay, people were going to be speaking about Kayvee and his mental health, and the fact that men are seen to be the gender that are not expected to be as vocal about their emotions or about the state of their mental health?
Oh well, I feel like in this part of the world, like there's no much so much attention and awareness as regards mental health, and as regards to my gender, which is the male. It's something we need to discuss about every now and then. There should be I feel like there should be more conversations as regards mental health, and it's not just for the weak. Like people will tag it as it's a weak person, is weak. No, you could be strong, but your mental can fail you at any time. So whenever you feel that way, I feel like we should always talk to somebody, maybe professional, or maybe just talk to somebody about it. I mean, somebody can have a good reason or something to say about it that could help you at that point. Mental health doesn't really necessarily say you're mad or
Of course
yeah.
not.
So
Yeah.
a whole lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's just it does it go through different type of mental illnesses. So people can be going through mental illness and they don't know that's actually what's wrong with them. But I feel like when we have this conversation over and over again, a whole lot of people will understand that okay, yeah, we need to be okay, man. We need to check ourselves regularly, not just your body, but your mind and soul as well.
That's fabulous. Now, you spoke about speaking with people, which is an outlet when you're experiencing these forms of mental health issues. What other outlets, do you engage when you are either feeling the way you felt, maybe going through waves of anxiety, or you're feeling down? What other outlets are you able to express yourself?
For me, I would say is just talk to somebody, talk to a professional, talk to a professional. Basically, just talk to a professional. That's the only person that can help. That's the only person I think helped me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that at that point when I felt like no one could help me. So yeah.
All right, so let's get into your artistry, really.
Okay.
Talk to us about that, because I find it very fascinating looking at your work and how beautiful your work is. How were you able to, identify, first of all, that you were, talented and skilled in that area?
Well, photography for me started up naturally.
Okay.
I started up like something I just grew up. It grew in me, like it grew on me, like basically. So, photography for me started when I went after the uni. When I finished uni, and I discovered that, oh man, this is what I think I need to do, and I deviated into it, and it came up to be what I really wanted to do from birth, because I love to draw when I was little. So apparently, still being an artist, but I'm just drawing with light instead.
Wow.
So because photographers, we are like light benders.
Yeah.
We draw with light.
That's interesting. Light
Yeah.
benders.
Yeah. So yeah, photography for me is life for me. Is what I love to do whenever I'm down. Maybe I'm just maybe bored or something. Is what I love to do. Is what that keeps me company when I'm bored or something. So, I mean, for people out there who are trying to discover what they want to do, I just want to tell them that you relax and feel free. Whatever you think comes naturally to you, just accept it.
I like that. And did you go through professional training? Because there are people that it comes naturally to them, and you compare them to others who maybe have been trying to hustle to even take one good picture, one good angled picture, and they're not able to do it. But with you, or with people that might be in that creative space, it might come easily to them, and they might just go with the flow, and then evolve, through the process. But did you get any professional training, or did you just go with the flow of the process?
Well, I was going with the flow, but at some point I realized that I need to go to a professional training. So I went to series of professional trainings. Firstly, was it was not first. One of the trainings was when I was doing my NYC.
Oh, okay.
The C said was Saeed, whatever was like.
Oh yeah, Saeed.
Yeah, Saeed. I did photography classes there.
Yeah.
Also, while I was working in some organization, a big organization, we were compulsorily you have to go for a professional training.
Oh, nice.
Which I schooled. I'm a teacher from India. Which schooled in India, photographer in India. Taught me how to take professional pictures, and it made me who I am, like better photographer than I am today. So I'm not just a photographer, I'm multi-skilled. I can do photography and I can do cinematography. So
wow.
Yeah.
So what are we expecting, seeing how definitely multi-skilled you like you mentioned, what are we expecting moving forward from your brand as a photographer and as a creative?
Well, there's so much to watch out for, because for me, I have so much projects coming up.
Yeah.
Like there's going to even talk about mental health issue as well.
Fantastic.
Also address that issue in the society. As doing a lot of projects, and also want to like document amazing places in Africa. I also want to I also want to like just explore and accept any kind of gig that comes in for me, because I'm also open to weddings, documentaries, portrait pictures. I'm open to all of that, and I'm open. People that hear me now catch up with me on my Instagram and say, yo, let's hang up, let's make videos, let's do this, because that's what I came into the house for, basically.
I love that, and your work is brilliant. So it's not as though it's just you as a photographer who went into BBNaija and who's just popular and people are trying to associate you with you because you're popular, but because you're actually skilled. Exactly. So guys, you could hit him up, because he is actually skilled in the line of photography and his artistry. So we're going to be wrapping this up right here, right now. Share your Instagram or your social media platforms with us and with those who are interested in reaching out to you.
On my Instagram, you can catch up with me at Mr. Kayvee. On my Twitter, you can also catch up with me at Mr. Kayvee. For my business page, you can catch up with me at Cocos_View. That's Instagram, Cocos_View.
So can you spell the Coco? Is that
KOKOS _VIEW.
Okay, so Cocos_View.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kayvee, for giving us your
Ify.
time and for speaking up about mental health issues. I'm definitely looking forward to all the projects that you're working on, and best believe that Lagos Talks is right here to support you, when that time is right as well. So thank you so much, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you so much, Ify.
All right, it's 8 minutes past 1. It's still the midday show. My name is BBNaija. Coming up right now is your favorite talk show with your favorite ladies. It's called The Dish. Stick around.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.